Hello Indie Warriors and welcome back to I Dream of Indie Games. A long cold January is winding down, but we've got 10 more releases to close the month out, and even a few heading into February. These are the upcoming indie games that we are excited about for the week of January 29th through February 4th of 2024. And as always, we thank you so much for supporting independent content here at the channel. If you love indies as much as we do, consider heading over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you can gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community out there, early ad-free shows like this one completely sponsor-free, and even free games depending on the tier. Oh, and you'll also be shouted out at the end of every video we produce. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Okay then, let's get into this week's edition of Old Gamer Joe makes a fool of himself trying to pronounce things. And what better way to start than with some French? Here we go. Chronique de Silencieux. Not even close, huh? Anyone French? Well, sorry about that, but I hope you're all wearing your thinking caps because on the 29th, we're going to have some mysteries to solve. Playing as a rookie detective in 1970s France, you'll be tasked with interrogating witnesses, piecing together clues and theories, and making connections. Your case centers around a history professor with a deeply secret past and his distant daughter. I can tell from the gameplay I've seen thus far that this is not the kind of detective game to hold your hand. You're going to really need to think on your feet and test your theories. Investigate for yourself when it drops this week.
Extraordinarily picturesque scenery, gorgeously beautiful sea.
Moving on to number 9, Corsairs Legacy, pirate action RPG and sea battles. Yes, our mateys, there be pirates plundering into early access on the 30th. Corsairs Legacy is set to be a pirate-themed action RPG, if you couldn't tell from the title, with a full story, quests to complete, and sea battles. Wow, the title really does say it all here, huh? Play as booty plunderer Rufus Monroe and travel through the islands of the Caribbean. Pirates in the Caribbean? Now, where have I heard that before? This is definitely going to scratch that seafaring itch for you, plus it will give you a chance to give these developers feedback as they work to complete the full game.
It's up to you to decide how your story ends.
Have you ever wanted to become a software engineer without actually having to, make anything? Well, Joy of Programming Software Engineer Simulator drops on the 30th and promises to teach you a thing or two about real Python code. This one will be releasing into early access, so plenty of room to squash some bugs in the process. You'll write actual lines of code, create and solve puzzles, find collectibles, and more. This is definitely not a game for everyone, but I do think it's a cool idea to learn something new while you game. They really should have called this next one The Road to El Dorado, but I guess that title was already taken. Really missed a golden opportunity there, didn't they? El Dorado, the Golden City Builder Prologue, is releasing on the 30th. The Prologue serves as a taste of the full version of the game that releases later this year. Make sacrifices to the gods, gather your resources, build and conquer. If you're a sim person, you already know this one's going to be for you. Everyone else, moving right along to the next game on the list. Alright, so more of a DLC here, but Eastward is getting some love on January 31st, which fans of the 2021 classic should be excited about. While it's a bit of a departure from the original with a farming sim emphasis, Sam and John are back. I'm not typically huge on the farming, crafting, and livestock tending, but this looks particularly adorable, and the original game was good enough that I just might want to give it a go regardless. I'm probably going to butcher this pronunciation, but that's okay because the English version of the game won't be releasing for another month or so I'll have a little time to practice. Murders on the Yangtze River claims to appeal to fans of Ace Attorney, and I can definitely see the influence here. You'll play as a detective in 20th century China, using your powers of deduction to solve the case. In all seriousness, I'm totally cool with developers spending a little extra time on translations when needed, and I look forward to playing this one when I can understand it. Everyone who doesn't have to wait for the translation can enjoy it on the 31st.
别妨碍我，不管在此徘徊多久，无论真相藏在多深的阴影中，我都会找到它。
Coming on February 1st, Boxes Lost Fragments presents you a series of puzzle vignettes in the form of, you guessed it, boxes. You play as a thief that enters a mysterious mansion and must open these boxes for some unknown reason. I've seen Hellraiser, and this definitely doesn't end well. The puzzles look tricky and creative though, with intricate designs and cryptic clues. Definitely looks like it will stretch my brain a bit, that's for sure. Yay, we finally get an RPG this week. Granblue Fantasy Relink is a real-time combat RPG where you can assemble your 4-person party and take to the skies. Well, the Sky Realm at least. The art looks really captivating on this one, and I do love me some good old-fashioned action RPG gameplay, so this one is definitely calling to my wallet. Also has a cool-looking cast of characters.
星の世界へのゲートを開こうとしています聖少獣かつて白空戦争の際に生み出された星の民の兵器か
聖少獣星神をお前たちはそう呼ぶのか
妙だわこの子の力普通じゃないみたいこの大気の震えはまさか
宝の番人にしちゃ大げさすぎる
For the first time in a while, I might actually be speechless. I think this gameplay speaks for itself, really. Eternal Dreamland drops on February 1st. You're dressed like a bunny and shooting the big bad wolf? Zombies? Honestly, I'm positive there's an audience for this, but man, this looks more like an eternal nightmare to me. Third-person shooter gameplay with a protagonist that they do at least specify is 19 years of age, so you got that going for you. I don't normally do this, but please go read the Steam description. It is wild. Alright, last one on the list for this week, certainly not least, legendary Hoplite releases on February 2nd. This is a title I actually played a little while back on our old Indie Underdogs series, so if you want to check out that video, be sure to do so. A little bit of an action RPG, a bit arcadey, and a healthy dose of tower defense is thrown in here as well. It makes for a pretty interesting indie. The game also has a great ancient Greek theme and was a lot of fun from what I recall. And that's gonna do it for this week, folks. Did you see any indies that you can't wait to buy? Are you excited for February and the rest of 2024? More exciting indie releases on the way. As always, thank you for supporting independent content. Patreon.com/IDreamOfIndieGames. You'll gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, shoutouts at the end of every video we produce, and even free games depending on the tier. More importantly than all of that, you'll be supporting independent developers, publishers, and I Dream of Indie Games. Thank you for all you do, and I will see you on the channel for more indie gaming content.